Max Holloway gets the win in round 1 due to a Conor McGregor knee injury. To come back after 5 years away.
I mean, that's not it. What it is you tried a crazy move. You tried a jumping roundhouse kick. The way he landed, he threw the kick and he landed with his knee in the worst position. You don't do that. It might have been the game plan to just charge out. And look, he threw the kick with the broken leg.
It's like somebody took my candy from me. I'm just so sad. What's going on? Oh.
God, both guys are probably just so fucking sad. Oh God, I hope Conor doesn't go off the fucking deep end, and if he does, I hope he calls me and asks me to join him, because I would love to. I would love to fucking partake in off the deep end with you. If you need a mate, fucking let me know.
What the fuck was that?
Did he pull a hamstring? Because it didn't look like the knee was compromised.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, the chat saying maybe he blew a hammy running at him. Yeah.
That was the goofiest way to start a fight.
Yeah, just have Patty walk out right now. And have Max and Patty fight.
Oh, I could totally tell that's what.
Is a tough sport. Okay, it is one of the toughest sports on the planet, but it's also one of the best and one of the most rewarding. And Conor McGregor's had an incredible career. What he's done for this sport really is incredible. The fever around Las Vegas this week was wild. The excitement for Conor McGregor coming back after all this time, 5 years away from the sport, after breaking his leg, was at an all-time high.
Dana, can you, I think we're all trying to process everything. I guess, can we get your immediate thoughts? It felt like, honestly, one of the best fight cards of all time, and then we get to this weird main event ending. So I guess your immediate thoughts as you sit there right now.
Yeah, listen, everybody who knows anything about the fight business, and it's been a big topic of discussion leading up to this fight. 5 years off in this sport is rough. And like you said, great card, unbelievable. I mean, the Paddy Pimblett thing right before, you just feel it all in the air. Here we go. I mean, I was expecting at least a one-round war, or, you know, who knew what Conor was capable of as far as cardio or whatever else after a 5-year layoff. And well, there you go. I mean, we're assuming blown ACL. I'm no doctor, but that's what I figured when I saw it, and doctors think the same thing too.
I was going to ask you, have you had a chance to talk to Conor? It sounds like you've talked to the medical team. Have you talked to Conor? Do we know exactly the extent of what happened?
I haven't. Is he coming out here? We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I think he left the arena like.
Then the answer is no. We'll find out when he gets an MRI.
Max said right away, like, hey, man, well, now we got to set this thing up for a trilogy, right? I mean, is there any desire from your point? I mean, you know promoting better than anyone. Like, does that even make sense to do a trilogy right now? Or the way that ended, do you have to go a different direction?
I don't even know. I don't know. You know, you got to take some time. And I don't know if you know this or not, but I don't like talking about making fights the night of the fight. But definitely not in this scenario.
The atmosphere inside the arena was already unforgettable before the main event even began. UFC 329 had thrilled fans throughout International Fight Week with non-stop action, dramatic finishes, and high-energy moments that kept the crowd on its feet. By the time the headline fight arrived, it felt like everyone was about to witness another chapter in MMA history. Conor McGregor made his entrance with a freshly shaved mohawk, bringing back the iconic look from the early days of his career. It wasn't just a new hairstyle, it was a statement. The spectacular production, roaring crowd, and thunderous walkout created the feeling that the Notorious was ready to announce his return in unforgettable fashion. The opening bell sounded, and McGregor wasted no time. In the very first second, he exploded forward and attempted a flying roundhouse kick. The strike failed to connect, and as his right leg landed on the canvas, disaster struck. His knee suddenly gave way beneath him, forcing him to the ground in visible pain. McGregor fought to continue, climbing back to his feet despite the obvious discomfort. Moments later, his leg collapsed again. He even tried throwing another kick, but it was clear his knee could no longer support him. Referee Mike Beltran watched the situation closely, while Max Holloway recognized something was seriously wrong and motioned for the official to intervene. Although McGregor signaled that he wanted to continue, his body had already reached its limit. The referee stepped in and officially ended the contest just 1 minute and 9 seconds into the opening round. Max Holloway was declared the winner by TKO after McGregor suffered a fight-ending injury, bringing the highly anticipated comeback to a heartbreaking end almost as soon as it had begun. Commentator Joe Rogan immediately shared his thoughts on what happened. According to Rogan, the opening jumping roundhouse kick placed tremendous stress on McGregor's supporting leg after the strike missed its target. He explained that landing awkwardly from such an explosive technique can leave the knee in an extremely vulnerable position. Rogan described the decision to open the fight with that move as a high-risk gamble, suggesting that the injury was linked to the mechanics of the technique, rather than being a random stroke of bad luck.
I mean, that's not it. What it is you just tried a crazy move. You tried a crazy move, you tried a jumping roundhouse kick, and when you're in that position, when you throw that jumping roundhouse kick, if you don't land in a good way with the supporting leg, you put so much pressure on that knee. The way he landed, he threw the kick, he jumped up, he threw it, and he landed.
Daniel Cormier offered a unique perspective as a former two-division UFC champion. He explained that returning after a long layoff brings an overwhelming rush of adrenaline, making it difficult to stay composed. According to DC, after nearly 5 years away, McGregor may have been swept up by that emotion, leading him to throw the risky opening jump kick. Rather than a calculated strategy, Cormier believed it was the reaction of a fighter finally back in the octagon. And unfortunately, that split-second decision ended his comeback almost immediately.
Careful when we judge, because there have been times where people have done crazy things to start fights and they've worked, and we praise the athlete as if they're some genius. Tonight was one of those times that it didn't work. I remember Fabricio Verdum just running across the octagon and super kicking Travis Brown like he was on the...
The story becomes even more heartbreaking because history seemed to repeat itself. In McGregor's first fight against Max Holloway back in 2013, he tore his ACL but still fought through the pain and earned the victory. That performance became a symbol of his toughness for years. Now, 13 years later, another fight with Holloway brought another devastating knee injury. This time, there was no way to continue. At the post-fight press conference, Dana White admitted that 5 years away from the sport is a long time and confirmed doctors believe McGregor may have suffered a torn ACL, a serious injury that could have a major impact on his future.
Historically, you've always said you never encourage a fighter to retire unless you're really taking a lot of punishment. But when you see Conor, who is suffering injury after injury, obviously the leg break and then the broken toe and now what looks to be a potential ACL one, at what point do you think that maybe you should listen to your body and call it a day?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly. I do feel that way, but it's the guys that start saying, I've been thinking about retiring, and the minute you start talking or thinking about retiring, you absolutely, positively should. I haven't heard that from him yet, but he hasn't spoke publicly yet. We'll see what he has to say. I don't know. We'll see how this whole thing plays out. There's a lot of unanswered questions right now that will play out over the next several days, and that's why I don't come into these things and start talking.
McGregor skipped the post-fight interview and left the arena visibly limping. Hours later, he posted on social media saying he had entered the fight healthy, had practiced the same kicks throughout camp, and described the injury as coming out of nowhere. He admitted he was in a very dark place after the devastating setback. Max Holloway, meanwhile, showed nothing but respect. He praised McGregor's determination, wished him a full recovery, and even said he'd be willing to face him again if he returns. But the biggest question remains, will Conor McGregor ever fight again? At 37, after a broken leg in 2021 and a suspected ACL injury in 2026, his future is more uncertain than ever. While his superstar status hasn't faded, many believe the road back to the top has become much tougher. UFC 329 ended in a way no one expected. A comeback that lasted just 69 seconds and left the MMA world in shock. What do you think? Will McGregor make one final return, or have we seen the last of the Notorious? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more UFC and combat sports updates.